Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TiTi TV, ladies and gentlemen. Wow! Today I think it's going to be a special day. This is TiTi TV, and we want to thank so much all fans who are subscribing. It's very important.
Very important.
Very important. You know, the moment you have fans who are following you and then they know the objective of, subscribe, you subscribe, the moment you do that, definitely also TiTi TV also will be like this. We say boom, 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 boom. Yeah. How are you? Most welcome on TiTi TV. Mpolo Goma, always I used to see you. I say one day I want that gentleman to come on TiTi TV also. At least we talk something, in Uganda you have a lot of things.
We have a lot of things.
Yeah, we have a lot of things.
I see on TiTi TV there's a lot of things that you talk about. So I was also one day saying, maybe one day I'll be in that casting of TiTi TV. And here I am today. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, because you're fast growing. You're fast growing into one of those media people that delivers unique information about football in Uganda, and it's an honor to be here. And anybody who is hosted by you is privileged. So I am privileged.
Exactly.
And today we are taking over TiTi TV. Polo Goma Victor Gracia sides on TiTi TV here on GBT Football Show.
Yeah.
We have Mr. TiTi here.
Yes. So today is going to be a special day, by the way.
It is.
Polo Goma, you're most welcome to TiTi TV.
Thank you very much, TiTi. It's a pleasure to be here. We work together from Monday to Friday on the breakfast on Fufa TV. But now it's good to also get off the set, get off the SC, and also just sit outside here and talk about matters of football importance.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to be here once again. And we're being ushered into a weekend which has some very big competitions.
Yeah.
Talk about the Fufa Super 8, which has fast grown into a tournament that people are embracing. It's a pre-season tournament, but one that has a lot of anticipation because you have the best 7 teams from last season participating, and then this season, which is very unique, you have a Uganda select team which comprises of some of the best players outside the teams that are participating, and some foreign-based players as well. And it's a team that you're looking at saying these are some of the best Ugandan players. So going up against the teams from the best 7 from last season. Then you have the Fufa TV Cup as well, which has grown to be a very big competition, very entertaining. So I have to say that it's quite timely as well that we get to talk about this on TiTi TV, heading into that weekend.
Exactly.
A lot just to get into Coach TiTi.
I think I can start with the Fufa Super 8 tournament. Yeah. Of course, I'll start with the Omolangida Samusimbwa. He has given a task, that task of showing that really is the one, Omolangida Samusimbwa.
Yeah.
If you look at his team, he has quality of players who have been in different areas. Some would have been outside abroad, but when they are not playing, others they have been locally here, trying to see that they can come up, to be in shape. But Omolangida Samusimbwa, of course, we know him. He has been in a Hedethe football club. He coached in Mbale. But in Mbale, he was playing also. He was playing like a coach player.
Yeah, at Mbale.
At Mbale.
Which team in Mbale?
Mbale, it was Mbale FC, if I'm not mistaken.
Not Mbale Heroes.
Mbale Heroes, I think.
Mbale Heroes FC.
Yeah.
The one that has just come to Premier League.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we used to, sometimes I have my OB, it's called Tendo Musoke. Tendikito Musoke. He has a history of Uganda football.
Yeah, that's when I know him very well. He's an encyclopedia. Have you hosted him?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But anytime.
You need to. He's like, you see when you go to the library and you're looking for information about what happened in Uganda in the past, there's that Ugandan library.
Yes.
You'll get a lot of information about the politics, about the different things that have happened in the country. So if you want football, I've interacted with him.
Yes.
He's somebody that will indeed give plenty of information about Uganda football. You need to host him.
Always he's ready. The moment you ask him or you call him, that tell him it's okay here. I have a question now. Which question? Who was the first president of football in Uganda? Very simple. And then he gives the answer.
I think that gives you extra information. So yes, he's a very resourceful gentleman.
Yeah, now some Simbo Mulangira with his players, I think they have a challenge.
Yeah.
Because they need to show people that yes, we have been left out, but we are the best among others. Now the players also, they should show us tactically that yes, we are the right people to play on national team. But now Mulangira also, where the problem is, that also you must put national coach that also, even if you are not there, you can take over.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, I do understand.
So now that's the thing which we are going to see now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I think they are playing with the
Sports Club Villa.
Sports Club Villa.
Yeah.
Tactically, we need to see also his strength, the strategy when they are playing. Because like me, I don't go to the KCC to watch or to have fun, but also I need, in technicalities, and then I want to see who is the quality, who can play well, who can penetrate, who can cross, who is overlapping left full back, right full back.
Those unique attributes of the different players.
Exactly. So I think tomorrow we are going to see total football.
Yes, of course. I think there's a lot of anticipation with the Fufa select team. I know that a lot of people have had their opinions about this. It's an innovation by the Federation of Uganda Football Associations, and some of them are quite, eager to see how it's going to turn out, while others are quite skeptic about it. We've had the notion of how people thought that maybe they should have put in URA, I think it is, who was the 8th team from last season.
Yes.
They would have rather placed them in the Fufa Super 8 instead of bringing a Fufa select team, which is something that has never happened before. But from my personal submission, it's a unique innovation that I'm eager to get to see. You have to be innovative, you have to be inventive in football as well. So from my perspective, and I think it's the people that I represent as well, I'm eager to get to see how this select team is going to look like. Why? You have players who are outside the top 7. That's the top 7 teams from last season.
Yes.
Okay. So these are like the other best players from the other teams. Then you have a couple of foreign-based players as well who are coming together, and they're going to be playing together. So I'm quite eager to see exactly how they are going to march together, how they're going to execute what they've been able to learn on the training ground. But just to see how that team is going to look like. That's something that particularly I'm eager to get to see. Then you did mention the task that Sam Simba has. Very big task, a very huge task. I think if I was in his shoes, I'd be a little bit nervous. I was seeing some of the training videos. I'm not somebody who can easily tell behavior, but you could see. I remember the first time that the team was at Moob's playground, and Coach Paul Put was also there. Paul Put, was standing beside, and Sam Simba was the one who was talking. Exactly, Sam Simba was the one who was talking. So in my mind, I'm like, I wonder what Sam Simba is now thinking about. The big man has now stepped aside and now listening to him. He's not interrupting. So, now the mantle is passed on to him, and it's him who has now to think about the best way of putting this team together, having his technical team behind him, and how they're going to select the best 11, the different substitutes they'll make depending on different matches. So for me, it's quite it's something that I'm really interested in getting to see. And as you mentioned as well, if Coach Paul Put is not around, the person who's second fiddle is Sam Simba. You're going to be playing AFCON qualifiers. That's what we're going to be having for the next couple of months. We also have the World Cup qualifiers. These are big tournaments. If he's not there, how is he going to set up the team? Of course, we find that some of the players who are in this select team, you'll find that for the national team setup, you would say some of the players who are in Sports Club Villa, Kitara, or in KCCA would be in the national team per se, but it is a test to see how his uniqueness and how he's going to be able to set up the team. So for me, in general, I love the inventiveness, the innovation from Fufa, the first select team, giving this mantle not to Coach Paul Put, but to Sam Simba, and I'm also quite eager to see how he's going to do. I can't really judge right now, but I think when we see him play Sports Club Villa, how the team is going to play, how they're going to be able to, which kind of approach they're going to have. Are they going to be more possessing the ball more, or are they going to decide to leave the position, have the ball, and hit them maybe on a counter attack, depending on the different approaches. I'm just quite eager to see how it's going to turn out, but I am hopeful personally that it will be something that will develop and make maybe the national team a little bit much stronger.
Yeah, you are right what you are saying, because if you look at the transition, this Fufa Super 8 is going to take place because the national team is in transition. By the way, we have AFCON, we have Chan World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
So these players who have been left out, this is the time also to tell us that, hey, you guys, we have been around in Uganda, but you have been
lifting us up.
Exactly.
You haven't given us
so this is the time to show you that we can do something.
Yeah.
But as you have said, that Omolande Samusimbwa is going to see exactly, at least let me get like 8 players to be added on national team, because now we need numbers. Also, that numbers, they must fight for the numbers also. If TiTi Kamara have been chosen to be on national team, I must say that I must, remove Polo Goma. That you get out, I'm better than you in left full back. It's very important.
Yeah.
So this is the thing which we are going to see. Is it real people who are in the Fufa 11 or national team capable to play national team, were headed by a put?
Yes.
So I think there are so many things which we are going to look at.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trial. It's more like a trial phase. It's a pre-season tournament, to be fair, and not so much pressure. But I know that for the football players who are on the select team, those who have not had a chance to be on the national team, it's like it's almost like a qualifier. It's a qualifier game. You see, the way Uganda is playing qualifiers for AFCON. For those players who have not really been on the national team before, it's like a qualifier for them. Because if they do well personally, if they do well in terms of listening the instructions from the coach, if they impress the coaches very well, then they'll get an opportunity to be selected and maybe be an option for the national team. But from the perspective of the coach Paul Put or Sam Simbwa and the Uganda Cranes, it's adding depth in a way. You see, football, you have to look at it from very many different angles.
Yes, true.
Right? Some of the coaches will tell you, Abi Bogere Chikomeko today when he was on the breakfast. One thing he said was, because they added Ibrahim Kiri at the technical staff, and say that you need a technical staff around you. You need a big team, because you cannot do it alone.
True.
Some people are going to see things differently than from what you're actually going to see. So with the select team, in a way, it's adding depth. It's adding something, a different picture. Because usually you will say that that players who have been playing most of the time, those who are playing in, maybe say, European countries, and then some of the usual players on the national team, those are some of the players that you're going to look out first when you're selecting a team. But now with seeing how these players are going to perform on the select team, Coach Sam Simbwa as well, or Coach Paul Put, can look at it and say, there's a player here, maybe say like Isaac Ogwan, who has been in the FIFA Big League. He's been their top scorer, but when you're selecting a national team in today's age, you haven't really seen players who come from the big league that is the national team. But if he listens to the instructions of the coach and really impresses in such a tournament, that can be an option for Coach Coach Paul Put and Sam Simbwa. So it broadens the best of the players that you can actually select. So I think that is something that I think is quite beneficial here.
Yes.
I'll say for the players in themselves, they'll be qualifying, playing as trying to impress, but also for the head coaches, they are looking at something different. It offers them a unique perspective for the Chan tournament, as you mentioned, players that they can actually use locally best, but then also for the Uganda Cranes World Cup qualifier, AFCON qualifiers. You never know. They'll say, for this particular team that we're going to play, we may need this kind of player, and this kind of player, maybe we got to see what he could do from the FIFA select team and how they're performing in their club football, and we can actually use them. So it's a unique platform that this is actually offering.
Wow, because our fans, they used to, TTV, we have our questions. I say, now, what kind of questions? They say, what is the objectives of Fufa Super 8?
Yeah.
I say, one day we shall have a vista, then you come, Porogoma, and then we talk.
have the conversation about it.
Exactly. In your opinion, what can you tell us and those people who are watching you? What could be the objectives of Fufa Super 8, in your opinion?
Well, number one is a pre-season tournament, first and foremost. The Federation of Uganda Football Association, the Uganda Premier League Secretariat, have come together and have been holding this competition. This is going to be the 4th edition of this tournament, but it's an opportunity to prepare the players for the new season ahead. One of the objectives is that it's there to prepare the teams for the season ahead. We know that we get to see teams making different moves during the off season, the transfers and all this and that. And in preparing for another competitive season, you want to see the teams getting these players acclimatized to the teams. So teams can easily know how they're going to go about going about the new season, how they're going to set up the new season. So I think it prepares the teams, it prepares the players ahead of the next 9 months or so. And it easily makes, when you have that kind of preparation, the thing that it does is it makes the start of the season entered on the front foot, entertaining. I still, in today's edition of the breakfast, in fact, no, yesterday's, we had a Fufa TV reporter covering next training ground ahead of Fufa Super 8. Coach Hussein Balangu mentioned that there's some players who are still a bit heavy, and the Fufa Super 8, what it's going to do, it will give them an opportunity to easily get into match fitness, right? Play, get to the high demands yet again coming off of the off season, this and that. So when you go to the season, when you have this kind of tournament, easily most of the cobwebs have been dusted off, most of the rustiness has been put off. So you can easily get into shape immediately, and then you find that teams kick into high gear, making the season very entertaining from the get-go. So preparation in terms of team organization, player fitness. I think this one of the objectives is preparing the teams and the players for the season ahead. Yeah,
as you have said, because when we look at the preparation for the UAPL teams, I think we cannot fail to look at the nutrition, because nutrition is very important, very important. But because that's the challenge also which we have in Ugandan sports, I can say general. Because when the national coach, I think he was put on a national women coach, when he arrived here, he said, now, I want to see how the players they are eating, because it's very important. We can make players to run, to go to gym, you can do what, but when you don't talk about the nutrition, it's very important. What kind of food do you take? It's very important. That is very important. Because for me, I can go to the hotel, I can ask, I want rice, I want cassava, I want posho, I want maybe, as you know, but you find that I'm eating, what I'm taking on the plate is the same thing. So we need to concentrate also on nutrition, because also it's very important. We used to see our players on the UPL and then say, really these people, they take a lot, the quality of food, because we are talking about the quality, not quantity of food.
True, we're talking about the quality, not the quantity.
Quantity.
You can go and eat a lot, and then it's in the end it's not beneficial. But I think it's a very important point. I'm a Christian. And they say the Bible talks about what you say what you eat, of course, easily comes out. What you eat is what comes out. When you look at football, what you eat will show. What you eat will show. I remember I was playing high school's football one time. And
on break time?
No, it was school team football. Yes. And then by the time I wasn't very good at nutrition, but I had my teammate when he had been playing. So after one game, I'm like, let me eat a Rolex. He was like, yeah, don't eat Rolex, you're going to be very tired. I was like, no, I can handle. So I ate Rolex, but after I went for the match, after like 30 minutes, I was already tired. The nutrition was not good. So when you talk about nutrition, that's a very key point.
Yeah, but do you think that those players, they know what they are supposed to take?
They need to be guided.
They need to be guided.
They need to be guided because I don't think many of them know. I don't think many of the players know what they're supposed to be eating, what is good for them. This is where now most of the clubs need to pay very close attention to. In terms of having a nutritionist within a football club.
Yeah.
You need to have a nutritionist because a coach, it's good to know about nutrition.
Yes.
The head coach, because the head coach is in charge of the whole technical team, even nutritionist. But you need to have somebody within the football club whose specific role is to know what is your training schedule like. Okay. Are you going to do diet out or are you going to take it light?
Yes.
So depending on the coach's training schedule, now that nutritionist is going to come in and say that since you're going to have a lot of running, this is what you're going to eat.
Yes.
Since you're going to do a lot of ball work, this is what you're going to eat. So I think most of the players, and for the players themselves as well, they have a lot of things to think about. They have to think about how they're going to perform, the training schedule, and all this and that. So they themselves may not actually know what they're supposed to eat. They may have an idea, but that consistency is difficult. So in this preseason, I think preseason. This is where some of these things come into shape. We have to think about it.
Right.
But it all comes back down to the structure of the team, of the club. Importance of that nutrition.
It's very
nutritionist within a football club.
Yeah.
If you can have somebody who can help you out and they specifically do that, I think that will really help the teams prepare for a long season ahead, prevent injuries as well.
Prevent injuries.
And perform. And perform to a very high level. So I think that's one thing that they need to look at, and it starts right now in pre-season.
Yeah, but what you are talking is right, because clubs, they need to fight, harder to see that they can have financial
stability.
Yes, because if you don't have money, you cannot run a club. You cannot, because money is everything. You understand? Now, here there is a problem which I've seen when I was making my research, that the clubs must have their own of the clubs, because also we have that problem. Because also we need also to thank clubs, to put their clubs to run like as is it, but there are still a lot what they are supposed to work on. For example, if the players are not paid, if the players they don't eat well, do you know that you can find players who don't take breakfast, they don't take lunch, they don't take supper. So at the end of the day, they need results. And that's where now coaches, they have problems. They are dealing with the people who are hungry, they have slept when they have not eaten anything. You understand? So we have a lot of things which we are supposed to work, especially the status of player status is very, very important. Even in coaches, if the coach, they come on training when they have not eaten anything, also they start quarreling, by the way. Every time quarreling with the players, shouting on them. Then the players, they start saying, what's wrong with the coach? Coach, every time, the moment he says, every time is quarreling. So I think we need to professionalize our league through knowing the owner of the club. The moment you know the owner of the club, they need to come also to be involved in the Famako. I used to hear Famako, Fufa, Famako, because you learn a lot of things. Because if you are aside from Famako, then you send, for example, CEO of your club. At the end of the day, they are not the decision maker. Because we need, for example, Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa for Viper. We'll talk about the Mandela for Viper, for Vida. We need Express, Jolly Chwanuka. That's the thing which I want to bring it out. Why? Because those ones, they have the decision making. They can say, okay, we have learned this and this in Famako. Let us try to put it into place. So I think we need, I don't know, but that's the way how they are supposed to be. If we don't do that, don't expect our league to go far.
Yeah.
Because now, for example, we have Villa and Kitara. They are going to play now. They are preparing also. Now also this Fufa Super 8 is going to help them. But at the end of the day, they reach there and then they say, for us, we have managed this. This is where we can end. Because where they are coming from, the league is not competitive, in my opinion, because of some challenges which we have. So at the end of the day, who is going to suffer? All of us. Because I might be here selling my juice. It's not going to move because there's no people who can come to watch our league. So I think, I don't know, Fufa, they have tried to see that they can put some, there's education programs, and I don't know how you can say about that.
Well, I have to give credit to some of the clubs. There's been a bit of progress. There's a bit of progress and step in the right direction for many of the football clubs in the country. I think they're trying as much as possible to try and create an environment where the players can, be motivated to come. Though we're not yet there. There's still a gap. There's just a few teams that are doing that. You talk about Bull Football Club that maybe are at say 80% in terms of fully motivating their players and making sure that they focus mainly on that. And if you do that, it will reflect on the football pitch and it will get the entertaining football that we're looking at. But I think I have to first credit some of the teams in terms of where they are heading. But there is still a lot of education that still needs to be done in the ownership of many football clubs in the country. Football knowledge, football education, about the professionalism of the sport. Yes, the avenues have been set there. You talked about Famako. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before I think those stakeholders who are really interested. Because I want us also to look at the future. Let's not just look at now. We look at Fufa, what Fufa has done. They have set up these Famako, and FIFA has as well very many education platforms. I want us to look at the future. We have very many people who are coming in, very many young people who are interested in sport, who are interested in football. And with this education, let me say, the material that is there. That is there, and the platforms. I think in the future, the more that these younger people take up some of these things, I look at 10 years in the future, and if we have smooth leadership for some of these football clubs, I'm telling you that we're going to have a bit more professionals in the near future. I think if you look at it from now, it might be a bit difficult maybe for some people to go back. Some of the older people who are in leadership, I'm not saying that they shouldn't, because you can learning can go on at any stage, but I feel like what Fufa has done, and maybe the future for the football clubs, from my perspective, there are young people who are taking up these education platforms, and there are those who will still continue. And I think in the future that will be there. I think we're moving in a step in the right direction. At the moment, it may be hard, but if I'm just to give an example of what happened in the Bible.
Yes.
You see that God, when He took the Israelites to the Promised Land. The people who went to the Promised Land, those who came from Egypt, none of them what actually reached the Promised Land. All those who came from Egypt died in the desert, right? But this is what God did. What God did is, God took the forefathers, the parents, He took them through the Red Sea and took them to the desert. These people gave birth to children. Now those children are the ones who reached the Promised Land. But remember, God had set an avenue. So I think we're moving we're moving in the right direction. It's going to take some time, but we've had a couple of leaders who have maybe not had the professional football knowledge for some of the football clubs that has been there. But today we're seeing there's a transition. There's a transition happening. And I can confidently say the next 10 years, possibly, there's going to be a big difference. And I think we're going to have leaders who are going to know how to manage football clubs in terms of market, in terms of business, in terms of sports, and in terms of governance. That is going to be there. It may take small steps, but we are moving in the right direction. But then coming back down to the Fufa Super 8, you look at most of the leaders, and the leaders have to ensure that these kinds of tournaments, you have to keep on making sure that the teams are participating in these tournaments. And I have to credit all the leadership of the teams that have accepted to participate in this tournament. You have to prepare your teams, you have to make sure that they are for pre-season training. All the teams that are participating, the teams have decided to give them some pre-season training as well. They are dedicated to give them finances for pre-season and all that. So I think in terms of leadership, we're moving in the right direction. We shall really reach there in the near future, but at least we're taking steps in the right direction. And this Super 8 tournament yet again is yet another opportunity, for the leaders to keep taking steps in the right direction in terms of football development and progression.
Yeah, don't you think that Fufa has a problem now of changing the mindset of the club owners? Because here there is a problem. We are looking for the owner of the clubs, and they are there. Some of the clubs, they have the owner of the clubs, but the majority, we have maybe if I'm not mistaken, we have 6 or 7 who have the ownership, isn't it? Now these remaining ones, we don't know who is the owner of these clubs, you understand? And the moment we don't have them, the Fufa, as a Fufa, they have a problem because the league, it don't run professional way. Now, what do you think Fufa could do to change the mindset of the UPL club's owners? Because it's very important, because we are talking about all this, but there is where they are coming from. They are coming from because we don't have football club structures, and that one comes when we know the owner of the clubs. When you know the owner of the clubs, definitely everything is come together, and then we see this on the table. They listen, they implement, they look for sponsors. Fufa, they work with them, even the government, because the government, we want to, from government, the tax also is too high. Infrastructure, talk about infrastructure, the taxes, and what have you. How do you see how Fufa is going to change the mindset of the owner of the clubs?
Constant engagement. We need to have constant engagement, and we've gotten to see that in this off-season, Fufa has had conversations with different leaders of the football clubs, those that are known, we know. They've had those conversations. The regional tours, very, very important, because the truth of the matter is, and the fact is, the federation has that mandate to ensure that football does move in the right direction, and they help out all the stakeholders. So I think engagement is the very first thing. The more you engage with people, the more that they're going to get to know information, the more that their mindset is going to change. Okay, the more you have information. You see, someone said that they said that you can dream to be anything that you want to be, but you can dream. Your dream is limited to your surrounding, to what you know. You see, if you go to maybe say a certain area, and the trending thing there, if you want to be rich, they say you to be a carpenter. The person is going to be a carpenter.
Yes.
But then if you come to an area whereby you can go to space, you can do different things. Your mindset is because of the knowledge you have and exposure, it's different. So exposure to knowledge. So having that kind of engagement constantly with the relevant people is what's important. Now, you talk about those that we don't know.
Who have left out. They are there on the leash, but we don't know they are the owner of the clubs.
Exactly. So it's not a matter of the federation going down to the roots and seeking out who these people are, making sure they have information who they're going to talk to until they figure out who the owners of the clubs are. And that's where now I feel like I believe that the regional tours are very, very important. You're going to go down there, because now Fufa is not waiting for people to come to them. But Fufa now is going to the people, and there, when you go to certain areas, certain regions, the different owners, different people have an opportunity to come and meet Fufa where they are, where people are meeting them where they are. So constantly, and I love what the president said. The president said that it's going to be an annual thing. It's going to be an annual thing. And the thing is that football in itself, it is within rules and policies that the federation has set. It is sieving out those who are not up to the standard. Look at the club licensing. Some of the teams that maybe we do not know of the owners and all this and that. Club licensing is changing gradually. It's always improving, and there's going to be a moment whereby these are going to have to be some of the criteria. And if the proper structures are not there, you're not going to be allowed to participate in the certain thing.
Maybe to chip in. Yeah, to chip in. Now let us look about these new clubs. We have Lugazi, isn't it?
Lugazi Football Club and Bale Heroes Football Club
and
Police Football Club.
Now, this is where now we want to see club licensing, because if you look at Lugazi, they have everything which we can expect to be in the UPL. If you look at Police, they have everything which you can expect.
Yeah.
If you look at which team? We have Lugazi, Police, Bale Heroes. And this is where you have talked about the club licensing.
Yeah.
This is where now the problem starts from. Because now, 3 comes and then 3 goes back, isn't it? Now it means the club licensing, this is where they're supposed to put all their effort. They say, it's very good, you are promoted to UPL, but
exactly. You have to meet the standards.
Exactly.
You have to meet
even if I know you, TiTi, we know you, but please, kindly, if you don't produce this, we are not going to allow you to come to UPL.
Exactly.
I think Fufa also must look at that side.
Well,
I don't know what they are going to do, because technically, tactically, UPL, club licensing, also one day we shall come with that topic. Yeah. Internally, and then we look at which criteria, where the vision of the clubs, kind of stuff, because the source of income is very important, financial support, everything there. I don't know what it's going to do about that, because here national team, we are suffering.
Well, listen, we've seen Fufa hold meetings with promoted clubs, right? They want to help them, they want to guide them. I was privileged to, of course, be in one of the meetings, and the deputy CEO in charge of football services, Mr. Humphrey Mandu, said that we are here to help. Fufa, the reason why we come to work as a secretariat, if you want to help, we want to help the clubs, we want to help them get better, and was having this kind of discussion. So even before the club licensing, the federation is offering help. You talked about the case of getting the owners out. You talked about how ownership, making sure that the ownership leadership structure, if that is in place, it's going to help teams really move in the right direction. As I say, the policies that have been set in the club licensing themselves, you see what Fufa is ring-fenced. You have club licensing, which is catching those who don't meet the standards, right? It's catching those who don't meet the standards. But you also have Fufa on the other side, who is trying to help people to meet the standards, right? And they're offering help. So you find that they're offering help, and if those who want help, right, continue coming to the federation, they're going to get the help that they want, and they're going to meet the standards, that they'll be able to move in the right direction. The federation can offer help, but if you don't want to really come out and get help, what else do you think that the federation can?
I think the help is guidance.
Guidance. You guide them, exactly. You guide them on what to do, as simple as possible.
The statutes,
the statutes, what you need to do, how you can go about certain things here and there. I think in that sense, with the federation, having these constant engagements, helping change the mindset with regional tours, sending information down there, getting information, trying to engage with them as well, and then having the club licensing, because you can want to help everyone, but there is a standard that has to be there, which you have to meet. If you don't meet it, is somebody else going to come and meet it? Because look at the example. I mean, we had I think it was it in the 2023-24. I'm forgetting the team that it was, but that had gotten promotion but didn't meet the standards.
Wow!
So they had to go back down, right? They had to be relegated in the UCPL. But then you have a team like Ugazi Football Club that's even before they're in the UPL, they're already coming to Fufa and having those engagements, and they're helping them. Now that they're promoted, they're able to meet the standards, actually be there. So I think in itself, what Fufa is doing, constant engagement is key. The regional tours is key. Then having the club licensing, regulations and standards. That in itself is a circle that is there to help clubs move in the right direction. It is already set up, and Fufa is doing the best that they can. In case there is something different, we shall have to innovate and invent maybe to try and help out. But I think this in itself, I feel, is helping clubs move in the right direction from my point of view.
Yeah, you see, fans, we have taken long about this topic because this is where everything raised from.
Yeah.
Because if UPL is not, professional or the standard, we cannot do anything. Because now, every Thursday, we are watching Fufa President, historical, but always with the tend of Soke, But yesterday, today is Friday. Yesterday, I saw when he's talking about the Fufa Technical Master Plan. Now, that plan, they must be there when there is good environment. And good environment is money. Are you aware about that?
There's money, there is capacity, the human resource,
good governance.
Exactly. You need
the statutes,
You need the statutes, exactly. The statutes, you need the people, you need the finance.
Yes.
Because you can have the money, but if you don't have the right policies and you don't have the people who are able to help, then you'll misuse the money.
Yeah. Because those people who want to, like, for example, is talking about how to teach skills, the technical skills. Passing, receiving, but that person who's supposed to teach must have that knowledge, as you have said, and he must be motivated. Because if I'm not motivated, don't think that I can do better, what you want from me.
If you're demotivated, you look at a different sector, you leave football.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a thing now which we are trying to look at, and then we see how are we going to do it about Super 8. I think we can leave Super 8.
Well, I think for Super 8, one other objective, preparing the teams for Continental football. I think it's very important. Kitara and Sports Club Villa, who are going to be representing us on the CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
This is a very big tournament for them.
Oh, wow.
We've seen Kitara play one international friendly against Meshal. They won 2-0.
Yeah.
And some of the players got to meet Luis Nani. You remember Luis Nani from Manchester United, Portugal, won the Euros. They got to meet him as well, and they got to meet one of the best. People arguably say he's one of the best African football players. Was also there. I forget his name, but he was also there. So they got to meet these players. Then Somedi got to meet some of them. So, but this tournament comes in and the competition is there, because you look at Kitara Sports Club Villa, you're playing. You're going to play a Fufa Select team for the case of Sports Club Villa. In case you go far in the tournament, you're going to play better teams as well. Kitara is playing KCCA, there's Viper Sports Club within the mix, you have Bull Football Club. So it prepares them for the continent, which is, they're going to have Continental games this month in August. So it's preparing them for that. And I think also just for the players, we know that Uganda is in a very unique position. We have AFCON 2025 qualifiers coming up in September. Our first game will be against South Africa. They'll be traveling to South Africa. Then we shall have the return leg. All games are in September against Congo Brazzaville. We want to go to Morocco. We want to play in Morocco in 2025. So some of these players, the Super 8, it's giving them an opportunity to get back into match fitness. Remember what I was telling you in the beginning? Yeah. Removing the cobwebs, removing the rustiness, getting back into match fitness. You know the league is starting in September. That is very little time. Yeah. So you need these players to be playing. And so the Super 8, yet another objective of the Super 8 is to make sure that the players are ready for the continental, continental football for the club level, but also national team level. So it's an exciting tournament that personally I'm really excited to watch. I'm a KCCA man.
Wow,
I'm a KCCA Football Club fan myself, but I also love Bull Football Club.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to see these teams go up against each other.
Of course, we need to support.
Yeah.
This is our clubs. We are going to be behind them. We are going to see. And for me, I'm certain they will do better.
Yeah.
They will be better because they have tried. If you look at Kitara, they have tried. They have put there at least some competition, in big teams here in Uganda. Of course, also, even they have experienced players who have been in different clubs. So I think also good manager, Coach Blair, also he has tried to talk with the boys, let us do this, let us do this, give them love, the motivation. So I think let us be behind these clubs.
Let's come and support.
Exactly.
Come and support the team.
Exactly.
And the games, double headers are going to be two stadiums are going to be
Yeah.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
And we shall be using MTN Omonde Stadium. Double header, ordinary, 5,000.
Wow.
And VIP, at least for the games, is 10,000 Ghana shilling, at least from St. Mary's Stadium, which is 10 for the double header.
Yeah.
So these are prices that are quite affordable, but if not, Fufa TV is showing the games live.
Oh,
so you
Fufa
can
TV.
sit down and watch Fufa TV live.
Fufa TV and TiTi TV.
TiTi TV. You're showing the game live. Are you showing the game?
TiTi TV already.
You have rights.
Yeah, I have TiTi TV. TiTi TV it's everywhere.
It's international.
Universal, TiTi TV everywhere. TiTi TV. Okay, straight away. Let us go and then look at Fufa TV Cup, ladies and gentlemen. We are in 16.
Round of 16.
Round of
Fufa
16.
TV Cup, second edition.
Wow. What can we talk about the Fufa TV? Oh my God. I can see kids playing football, touching, creating space, enjoying. I can see fans. They have said, this is our time, cultural schools,
The traditional schools.
The traditional schools.
I've also seen very many mistakes in Fufa TV Cup. I've seen goalkeepers leaving the ball to go inside the
Technically.
I've seen very good entertainment, but I've also seen very many blunders in the Fufa TV Cup. I've seen everything.
Now that's the historical he was talking about. That we need children always in class. Yeah. By the way, you can have a debt card, you can have a uniform, you can have books, you can have a bag, but when you're not taking notes, you will not have discussion groups, you don't have for preps, you don't do exams.
Yeah.
So I think what I was hearing from Fufa president, he was talking about the children who are in the class regularly, even they know each and everybody, you understand. So this is, I think, one of the objectives. He's talking about, because why he want to see like 10 years or 20 years, sports administrators, football managers, the commentators, nation, because this is the objectives. In my opinion, I think it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
It is a brilliant idea. The Fufa TV, one of the most brilliant ideas of personally, I'll say one of the most brilliant ideas of the historical Fufa president's reign. Of Honorable Moses Hassim's reign. This is one of the most brilliant ideas, because what you're doing is, listen. There is a certain phenomenon that says that if you have 100 players, there is a possibility. Not all of them are going to be. Not all of them are going to be stars.
Yeah,
but you'll pick one. You maybe pick one who will become like a Messi.
Yeah.
Or you'll pick three who will become the best footballers on the continent or in the entire world. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're opening up football, quite widely. You've talked about the different departments. You talked about football on the pitch. You talked about football off the pitch. You talked about officiating, the officials, those who are part of the officials. When you give an opportunity to the whole country, because the second edition is being played in chapters. You have Eastern, you have Northern, you have Central, you have West Nile, Southern. So you're opening up like football to the game to so many people. And what you're going to do is you're attracting interest. Now you're going to, as I said, you're going to have people who want to become commentators, people who want to become referees, people who want to do different things. So when
referees,
footballers, don't have you in the future,
scouts.
In the future, what you're going to do out of all these people, not all of them might be the best, but you'll pick out just enough in different departments that is going to make the sport go to the next level, which will help Fufa achieve its vision of becoming the number one footballing nation, both on and off the pitch. So you'll get some of the best referees, some of the best commentators, you'll get some of the best. And listen, we don't need to have 10 of the best. You just need to have like maybe 1, 2, 3. That is okay. Out of all these, you can have like 3. These 3 will become the best media, commentators. You have the best media people in the country promoting football to the next level. These people will go on the continent. These people can even go to different stations outside Africa in itself. And there you're growing the sport in different facets within the country. So it's one of the most brilliant ideas to open up the game, attract interest, really unearth talent. And the Fufa TV Cup is going directly to the source, to the schools. Why the schools? Schools is where people have passion. Schools is where people have to have dreams from. Personally, I wanted to be on TV starting off from Junior College. Junior College is participating in the round of 16, by the way, we shall get there. But that is where it's
Junior College.
Exactly, that's where it started from. Now imagine Junior College had Fufa TV Cup had come at this moment in time. And I was part of the team maybe that is commentating or doing media in Senior 3 back in 2015. We're in 2024 and I had taken that route all the way to 2024. I think I'll be very, 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 very far. So you're going back to the route where passions and dreams are now just being brewed. And before they can be swayed to go elsewhere, you are giving them a platoon, you're giving them a light. Football, like there's a game here, there's a competition to be played. There's a camera for those who want to start there's those who want to do media. We've seen very many young girls. I've seen a girl who was part, I think, of Ginger SS. She is very, very good sports reporter, and she's organized. She was asking Gifred Mutalia questions and Ginger SS captain questions, and she was excited. And that is raw. But now give her more time. She has seen that, and she's going to develop even by the time she gets to your university. Fufa TV Cup, in terms of talent identification in football and different things, and then development as well. Exactly. It's a competition that I love so much, but also I get to see my school. Ginger College.
You are still on the race?
We're playing Ginger SS. We're playing Ginger SS on Saturday. 3rd of August 2024. It is it's a big game.
Are you certain that you are going to win?
Ginger SS has always been a very tough team. And there's footballing powerhouse. But Ginger College is a rival team that can give them a run for their money, can push them to the wall. Because of the pedigree of that match, right? Ginger College boys right now, because let me tell you, when I was at Ginger College, every time we're playing Ginger SS, we knew that this is like El Clasico, Real Madrid, Barcelona. This was like our El Clasico in any game. So the mentality switches for the players, but also for the fans. So Ginger College going up against Ginger SS, and they also know similarly. They're playing Ginger College, it is also going to be like an El Clasico. So I won't say we will win, but it's going to be an interesting game, a tight game, and I just hope Ginger College wins.
Because the way I see, the way you are talking, you are certain. Certain. Of course you do.
I'm associated. I'm associated with
that. That is your school?
That is my school. And Ginger SS, one thing that I know about Ginger SS is they have the senior team, but they have players who are not part of the team. But they're very talented as well. Now, this competition for TV Cup is for them. It's for those kinds of players. Those who are not going to play for US, who are not going to play in the USSSA games, but they have an opportunity now to play in the Fufa TV Cup. But they're also similarly very good. It is a tight game. Any team can go through, but I am hoping Ginger College goes through.
But how do you see Chibuli Mengu today? It's going to be wow, boom, 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 boom. because I think Mengo and Chibuli, we shall end up when we have one team qualifying to go to Ginger, Technical Center and Jelu. You saw one of them before?
Mengo.
Actually,
yes, Mengo.
Yeah. How is it tactically on the field?
Well, Mengo is, I'll say, they're a team that has plenty of talent. First and foremost, they have very good talent. And at the beginning, they were a bit slow to actually mash and be able to build into the second edition of the tournament. But as they've played more games, they've actually grown a little bit. And the team is a bit now more confident and a bit more comfortable with each other. And they can now go into a game and, build on their ability that we're a talented group of players. And we can actually get a result done. They have I think for me the talent wise is there. Moving forward, they have very good players who can actually go forward. Their defense is a bit in the beginning was a bit suspect, but they have improved on their defense a little bit. And then you go to Chivuli's side. Chivuli is a team that they have very good players as well up front. And we've gotten to see. I think they scored a late goal against Old Kampala in the previous set of matches in the first round. Then they got through. They got through the round of 32. They're a team as well that has been well coached from my perspective. Still has a lot of talent, but well coached. And I think that it's a tight one. However, I feel like the pedigree as well, the experience of Chibuli,
you're right,
could be a difference factor in this game.
Yeah, because when you talk about Chibuli, you are talking about, of course, you remember Ahmad Hussein, communication director, Marsha. The guy likes Chibuli. Sometimes says, TiTi, first come.
Yeah.
Have we seen the game? I say yes. Have we seen the boys from Chibuli? I say yes. Have we seen they're playing very well? The moment you said they don't know football, I said, what are you talking about? Chibuli always they are dope.
They always know football.
Chibuli they know football.
Chibuli doesn't.
For him, they don't accept that Chibuli also don't know football. He said, no.
It's in their DNA. He believes it's in the DNA. The traditional school, but it's in the DNA.
But it's going to be a tight game.
It will be a tight game.
It's going to be a tight game. We are going to see, players, coaches, the technical bench. But Mengo, they must use the advantage of home advantage. Because the moment he failed to use home advantage, in my opinion, football is funny. Mengo might lose, but I'm not saying that he's going to lose. And then they go to Chibula and then they win. You understand? But they must use the advantage of home advantage. Why? Because you don't know what is going to happen there. You understand? So for me, I think this is what time Mengo, if you don't win at home, it might be difficult on away, because Chibuli also they are going to use the advantage.
Yeah.
And for me, Chibuli, what I know, this is the historical school. Even Mengo is a historical school as far as the Coca-Cola is concerned, but Chibuli they have that kind of playing serious game. For us, we cannot lose. The weakness which they have, they don't have the supporters, and I think that's where also the school they must collect. We need fans, because all fans, as you have said, I might be a fan for Chibuli. As I'm a student, I'm a fan, but I'm not on the pitch. But on the side, tomorrow I'll be the director of maybe tobacco marketing board, because I've been moving in transition because of the passion. And then say, no, we need to have a team. We need to have a netball, we need this and this, because I grew in that system.
Yeah,
so I think Chibuli, I request head teacher, kindly help us. Release people, let them come, they support, because also those players for Chibuli, they need that support.
They need the support.
You understand? Yeah. So I think that's where, maybe another thing, the challenge which I've seen in this Fufa TV Cup, let the children enjoy football. Mpologoma, this is a time. When I was, in Rumini, SS, that's my former school.
Rumini,
SS.
Sorry about
it's okay. We used to enjoy, our streams, coach, you're not put a lot of pressure with those kids. because they want to enjoy football. Now, if we put on them pressure, and then there is UPL, big league, and then what do you expect? No, this is the time everybody, when you come, get the ball, commit the space, make scissor. Because fans, they want to have that, they want to make fun, you understand?
Yeah.
Because win is good. Nobody is saying win is not bad, but win is good. But how do you get win? We get win when you have fun, we enjoy, But for me, I watched Mamengo playing with the Marcos. I watched Chibuli playing with the Odi Kampala.
Yes.
But there is a lot of pressure from technical bench. Give them time. Tell them to do what they want. As long as when you lose the ball, make sure that you chase, get again.
Okay. I like your point of view, and they need to have fun when they're playing. Football is a fun sport. They need to do that. But I also get the pressure from the technical bench. You see, one, you're having a school, because most of the schools, yes, are committed to playing the Fufa TV Cup. But you know that originally they're traditional schools, right? So at some point, they are going to invest in the team, allowing them to go for some of these matches, okay? And games teacher, you have talked to the head teacher, he has accepted, and head teacher is like, what, removing the children from class, right? Is it going to be worth it? Are we going to benefit from this?
But this is the time. The time is they're starting at around 4 p.m.
Yes, they're starting around 4
which
p.m.
we expect that everybody is out from the school.
There is
That's why Minister of Education puts his PE.
Yes, there's physical education. Yes.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about the coaches. So you find that there is pressure from maybe say the games teacher on the coaches that
Results.
Exactly.
Boom, boom, results.
Exactly. You'll find that the head teacher or the school has committed. I've been in a situation, or I've heard of, when there was I was at St. Lawrence, London College. There's a team that we had reached the semi-final stage. Now the second semi-final, they were going to play Budo. They were going to play Budo SS. But the other team didn't come. Why? Because the head teacher said that we're going to lose the game. We're already going to lose the game. There is no need for us to go and play against Budo SS. So they didn't turn up. Budo SS went to the final. Eventually they went, and that year they won that USA competition. But you find some head teachers, because we're talking about traditional schools here, some head teachers are going to be like, some of the management. If you're going to participate, how is the school going to benefit? We want to see something happening within the team. We want to see us winning. So you'll find that there's that pressure that the school has accepted us to come to this competition, but we need to get the results. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, you'll find that they'll maybe withdraw the team from the competition, or two, you'll find that maybe the coach himself, they're going to be like, you're not getting the job done. So
when the coach they are not getting next time he's waiting to be called when he's
like, hey, are we coming for TV Cup? Sorry.
So we are
going somewhere.
We have already got to now is already repressed. Now
exactly. And football is a competitive sport.
Yeah.
Fufa TV Cup is competitive.
Competitive.
It's a competitive match. I got to see the sports, the games teacher for Smack, the one that won the first edition.
Yes, Smack.
He reached it, and after he went for the ISF games in China, he said, "You guys, the fruits of winning the competition. There are fruits. You get to travel, you go, you see teams, because when you played against schools from Brazil,
yes.
You were staying in a hotel. So he saw the benefits, and he got money. So like, you guys, the benefits are there." So the coaches, the schools are looking at some of these benefits. The competition is going to be hard to remove, but I think it's good that we do have a method, an approach of making sure that it is development as well, and as much as it is competitive, there is development. Coach Cheryl Botts of the Crested Cranes one time mentioned that football is much more than just getting the goal or getting the victory. As a young football player, you need to teach them what is the role of a winger? What is the role of a midfielder?
Roles and responsibilities.
Roles and responsibilities of your position. There are very many things. Teach them how to do that. So I think there also has to be that aspect in it. Games teachers coming in. Maybe Fufa TV Cup organizers can have that session.
Yeah.
You bring in the games teachers.
Yeah.
Take them through maybe some of the basic coaching courses in terms of development, those who don't have yet, but those who have, it's okay. But then also align them, saying that this is now the objective that we want. Right now we're on talent identification, right? But if we talk about maybe adding that aspect within the schools participating, we want development as well, and we're going to have a standard where we're going to check the players who are developing or not developing. So that also will put in the mind of the coaches, as we're taking the team to participate, I have to develop footballers. I have to develop, and then we develop mechanisms on how to monitor players and teams that are actually developing players or not developing players.
Yeah.
So that's something we can look at.
Do you see now? You have talked about the talent identification. Now, when you are panicking, results, you want to win. Do you think that you can get talent? Answer no, in my opinion, because when at the moment you get the ball, you rush because you are hearing the voice of the coach. Release the ball. If you don't want, get out. But TiTi have come to see that the scale. So it means if it's the school which we can fish talent identification. So it means coaches, they should give them time. As we are also looking for the win, but also we need to leave these kids to expose their skills. That's how we can get talent identification.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So you are right somewhere, somehow, but technically, you cannot get Mporogoma, when he's playing, when he's panicking. You cannot. You live with Mporogoma, encourage him, do it. Go, take that ball, meet him, do this and this, skill. Because when you encourage them, do, then you get a goal. You understand? Because when I get the ball, for example, I'm number 7, you are number right foot back, you understand, number 2. Then as TiTi, I must bring the ball and then I show you the skill. That is one view, one expression. That's where, for me, where I'm focusing now. As you have said that we are under pressure of results, but also they are under pressure to identify the talent. Now, we're supposed to give us that is coach, games master. So that's where now I think this tournament is going to be with the value. We need young players to come under, maybe under 17, under 20 national team, because now we are looking for players on the national level. But we are supposed to start on under 15. Under 15, we're expecting to see the skill, one view, one station, to come in the space, juggling, heading, passing, receiving. All those things need environment. We need facilities. You understand? Infrastructure. We need the field when it's okay. But as you have said, we are in transition, but I think we are going to benefit from Fufa TV Cup.
I think I just add on to that point what you've mentioned. I like what you've mentioned. We do need to give them the time. We do need to identify the talent, and I love that point of view. It is a slow but effective method.
Exactly.
I think there was an under 15 tournament that the women's senior national team, under 15 women, under the guidance of Coach Ayepo. They went to, I forget the country, but it was this year. And one of the rules that was there was that players should play a certain amount of minutes. It was a development tournament that is trying to identify talent, but also make sure that young players are able to go, have a feel as to what it's like to play for the national team with different national players, with different national teams across the world. But there was a rule that said that they have to play a certain number of minutes, and the goal was not really for for winning.
Yeah.
The goal wasn't really for winning. The goal was just simply for development. That can work. I think if you have that kind of approach, it can work.
Yeah, because when you look at the Fufa technical master plan, you cannot identify the player when, like as he said, mass football, you leave kids to play. In that transition of playing every day, to make to make friendship of the ball, so it means you must have a lot of touches on the ball. In that to get the other thing which you want, because now this Fufa technical master plan, they are going to start from age, maybe on 5, age 6, 7, as you know, those age categories. Now, from there, then they come when they reach on professional managers who are going to nurture and develop the talent.
Like true with the technical master plan, but I think here's how it has now been set up. We need players because with this, we are going to identify talent. We're going to find the players here in Costa Rica that can play under that kind of pressure. We need that kind of pressure. We need players who can play under that kind of pressure. We get those players and then we set them up. Now, the FIFA football for schools has come. FIFA football for schools, which is for primary school students.
Wow.
So this is ages, I think, from 7 to 12,
13, 15.
Yes. Now look, we have that level of players already for the future as well, who are going to learn basics about football.
Yeah.
Now these ones was there's going to be talent that's going to be identified for the future.
Yeah.
Now here we're looking at maybe 15 years from now. Okay, we're looking at this set of players blooming within that time.
Yes.
Basic football skills, get into secondary school, they have learned basics. Now we already know. We're going to have youth development officers looking at some of the players, already tracking them to see how they're doing. And then by the time they get to secondary school, they've gone through that program already.
It's a huge thing.
It's a huge thing. But for Fufa TV Cup, remember I said that the goal of it as well, the way it has been set up, we're looking at maybe some of those players who can handle the kind of pressure, that kind of pressure. See a few things here and there and identify them. And they'll go in there. But now I think going slow, FIFA football for schools, in a way, it's going slowly on some of the young players, future football. That I think that's a whole other category of players that now we can look at for the future also. And I think there's also talent identification that will also be set up there. So I think for the FIFA TV Cup, maybe there'll be a few players, not a lot of players, maybe a few players that are going to make it out and identified due to the pressure. But you need that kind of pressure because you look at many of the teams. If you're looking at under 15, under 8, under 20, AFCON, this kind of qualifiers, the pressure is going to be like that. So you need teams, players who can handle under pressure right now. Then you identify them, take them through slowly. As now you have these younger ones where you can take slowly. By the time you come like 10 years from now these ones have been groomed slowly.
Yes.
Now can take up and go to the next level. So Fufa TV Cup, the impact is there. Talent will be identified. A few people will be identified, but as well as a couple of other benefits, I think.
Okay, asante sana, professional Porogoma, good job, boo.
TiTi.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think let us end from here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been a long discussion.
It was long discussions, and I know at least even if pick one leaf like this, you never know where you're going to be. Pick one leaf in all what we have talked about or discussed. Take one leaf and then never know. You might be Malabar, you might be in Kuwait, you might be in London. You can, everywhere, take one leaf. Kindly, we are requesting you to subscribe. Very, very important. The moment you see TiTi TV, say, you encourage us to subscribe. It will pop up. Simple, very simple. Asante sana once again, Mr. Porogoma, unless when you have the last word from Mr. Porogoma, professional Porogoma, because everybody is watching you.
Well, listen, TiTi and I work on Fufa TV, the breakfast, tune into Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Come and watch the City Dweller and watch myself, Catherine, and Godson on the breakfast from 7 to 10 a.m. from Monday to Friday. Then let's support the Fufa Super 8. Let's come in and watch these games and enjoy. Let's also support the Fufa TV Cup. But also, I'll just say that yes, thank you. Continue supporting Coach TiTi on TiTi TV. He has very good content. You don't want to miss it. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I hope we shall have further engagement.
Of course.
Further engagement.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now you in the house. You in the house.
We're in the TiTi house.
Fufa TiTi house. Asante sana. Take care and bye bye.